Hey, I'm here outside my place. I've started a new little exercise program. It's called Rucking, which essentially is walking with some weight on your back. And I figured if I'm going to do this, I'm going to start doing it, touring around some different areas of Saskatoon, sharing some different spots, and perhaps, maybe a little bit of real estate stuff as we go. But hey, if you want to join me on my tour, of course, I'm going to start in my neighborhood, River Heights here. So let's go for a little ride. Stop for a little break here. So far the ruck's going pretty good at about an 18-minute per mile pace. A little slower than I wanted, but just kind of getting going here. So I think I underestimated time of year with the running shoes. A little melty here, a little wetter than I thought. I've only took on a little bit of water, but I wanted to show you guys here. This is a spot where my family loves to come. It's affectionately called the Red Park. I think you can see why. You can also see why this area is called River Heights. So we were walking along the Mawassin there, and here's where we got to check out the river. I'll go show you one of our favorite spots here. It's really nice. See why this is one of our favorite spots. If you're into skipping rocks or basically anything moving water, this is going to be one of the nicest places here to observe the South Saskatchewan. So I wanted to mention a little bit about the area. River Heights was developed kind of throughout the 70s into the early 80s. Most of the houses, the nice part about them, most of the detached lots, frontage is about 50 feet. They're nice and deep, very friendly for families and having lots of stuff in our backyard. That was a big draw for us anyway. And I know there's a lot of loyalty to the north side. Perhaps you know who you are. Lots of people that came here in the 70s, raised their families. We're seeing a lot of people come back. So I think that says something about a good, healthy community if people want to come back, and it creates a nice diversity where we've got seniors and then young families that are coming in. Just a really good kind of community feel in this area. So we're going to continue walking along the South Saskatchewan here, along the Mawassin Trail. just over 2 miles into our ruck here. I cut up, you probably noticed. We're by the river and I kind of cut up here, braving the banks of the South Saskatchewan. So when I started, we were just kind of, if you can see behind me here, there's a road, that's Nahanni, I live on there, and now we're on the riverside. The streets south of Assiniboine, we didn't go up Assiniboine yet, are a little more desirable, a little quieter, a little closer proximity to the trails and the river. In the last year in this area, so we're spring of 2024, in the last year there's been 37 detached home sales in River Heights, and the median sale price has been right around $440,000, and that gets you about a 1,100 square foot, with some updates, with a detached garage, 4 or 5 bedroom, 2.5 bath. Pretty nice. It's actually nice here. If you look, I spotted someone. I was wondering who it is. This is actually my family here, interrupting me. There they are. There's Allie and Ruben, Griffin, and Roscoe. I'll go say hello to them. It was nice to bump into the family there. They're just out for a scoot, possibly out to the Red Park. We'll see if they make it that far, but we're gonna head this other direction. As I mentioned here, south of Assiniboine, some desirable spots. I always like to point out, in the last year, let's see this guy here, there has been a few infills as well in this area, as people really desire to come here. So if they could buy a lot with a house on it, take it off and make something a little bit bigger, because the lot sizes allow for that. We see the biggest one in the last year, the highest residential sale, detached home, is this guy right here. You can see, wrong way. There's some stuff to like here for sure. Watch out for the lake and see what you'd get to enjoy in these areas here. Beautiful. Well, let's carry on. We're gonna head off to the lookout. To the lookout. I think it's one of the nicest looks in the city, really. You're quite elevated, beautiful spot. You noticed a few people walking, biking. Also up along here, they groom cross-country ski trails as well. This year was a little spotty, but really nice if you're kind of an active family, great place to live. Now River Heights kind of continues behind me. And you can see the Circle Drive Bridge. Kind of up in here is all River Heights as well. I don't know if we're going to venture over there, but also a great part of the community to check out. We're going to continue on here to the schools. Go check them out. Nice rink here, really well maintained. This is River Heights School. It's the public elementary school here in River Heights. We'll continue on to St. Anne. So here we got a nice rink. You can see the fellas are trying to keep it alive for a couple more weeks, although it could be challenging. We also got a nice park that we like to frequent, and there's the splash pad, which they all open up. So we are over, the international airport is going to be over here, kind of that way, about 10 minutes, which is really nice for proximity. I don't notice those birds flying over at all. However, the flight path is right over our place, so something to consider, but I find it kind of nice. walked past, so kind of right in front of me here is St. Anne's School, so the Catholic elementary school is right there. Actually, my eldest son's school, and we've really enjoyed it. Great community feel, really, pretty small class sizes, which in the city is always challenging to find. And I didn't mention, but River Heights school, which we passed, does have a French option, which is really nice, French immersion. Now I'm gonna mention, if we look just behind me, basically those buildings are in Lawson Heights, right? So that's where we're gonna see, there's a pool there, kind of, Lawson Heights Community Center. This is Hank Ray's right behind me, so kind of right on the line of River Heights and Lawson Heights. Essentially, these amenities get shared, obviously throughout everyone in the city, but really kind of right on the line of these two communities. Hank Ray's there, there's tons of stuff. I played volleyball in there, men's volleyball, lots of volleyball. Anyone knows me knows that I've been involved in that sport a bit, but also they do ball hockey, pickleball is a big one in there as well, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So just really a great facility that gets tons and tons of use. Also, as we kind of look over here, we're not gonna be able to see it that well, and I'm not gonna venture over there because technically it's in Lawson. But if we look kind of way back there, that's the Lawson Heights Mall, and there's also tons of stuff there in terms of optometrists, dentists. I know my son, there's a speech path in there as well. So all kinds of stuff in this area. We noticed kind of as I walked at the beginning, there was, I mentioned lots of detached home, but there's also kind of a senior, my late grandpa in the Bethany Manor back there. Oh man, this is hard to figure out. Yeah, over there. He lived in there, it's my grandpa and grandma. So there's lots of kind of assisted living type situations, townhouses, a bunch of different spots, which I think makes for a really healthy community. All right, let's carry on. Have ventured on here now. I haven't paused it, but we're just over 3 miles into my ruck. This is where you really start to feel it in the shoulders a little bit, especially for an inexperienced rucker like myself. But we've headed into Robert Hunter Park, which is a really cool spot. I think I lived in River Heights for a couple years, and I would kind of look past here. We'd always go on Mawson Trail, and I would kind of go past here and be like, what's going on? But I'd never check it out. So really cool park. You can see it's basically like all forest just tucked away in here, really cool. My son actually is he's in kindergarten currently, part of like a KinderCare outdoor school, forest school. They call it kind of all of the above, but they spend a lot of time adventuring in these areas. So if that's something you're looking for, I think they're accepting kids kind of all over town. It's not just Northside kids that come, but super cool program. I encourage you to check it out. So we're gonna march on here and check out Canorama. Made it now to Canorama. You can see this is Warman Road here, and it attaches with the Assiniboine, which is kind of the main artery to get into River Heights. Now, if they're doing some work here on Assiniboine, which they have in the past, it's a bit of a pain to get in here. I'll mention that, but we got gas stations here. Shell, my preferred gas station, because they do it for you, which is nice. No Frills and Shoppers over here. Also, there's a liquor store, some other services, Fox and Hound, a whole bunch of stuff kind of in here. And this is kind of the only true commercial center in River Heights, although as I mentioned, Lawson Heights has a lot of stuff. So Okay, that was a bit of a tough go there. I don't know if you noticed at the beginning, some of those places kind of between the blocks is pretty iced up. There's no back alleys in River Heights, so sometimes there's these little pathways to get between, which is really nice, but this time of year in spring, it gets a little icy here, so my boots are full of water. Thanks for joining me. I'm gonna start making my way back to Nahanni Drive and see my family.